Welcome back to Decoding Autism Now. I'm Dr. Elise Martin, and this is episode 9 in our 24-part series based on Unlocking the Rhythm of Digestion in Autism by Quay Stoner. In this chapter, we are covering one of the most puzzling aspects of autism: why boys are diagnosed so much more often than girls. One possible answer lies deep in cellular signaling, where G proteins communicate through the cell wall to an enzyme known as Adenylyl cyclase, or AC for short. But this communication may get stalled due to AC being impaired by toxins or being genetically altered. In this video, we will cover in detail how females can use estrogen to bypass the AC channel with the signaling. Males do have some estrogen derived from converting testosterone, but there may not be enough estrogen to bypass all the AC signaling for the nearly 20 trillion cells in the body of someone 10 years old. Or the estrogen may not be in the right form to activate a receptor due to a genetic anomaly. For a deeper dive and better understanding about the AC functionality as it relates to autism, check out the other AC-related videos on this channel. Autism affects boys nearly 4 times more often than girls. Traditionally, this gap has been blamed on social factors, diagnostic bias, or masking behaviors in girls. But biology may tell a deeper story. Estrogen, the primary female hormone, activates protective pathways in the brain and gut. These pathways depend on smooth communication through G proteins and adenylyl cyclase. When that signal stalls, boys, who have lower baseline estrogen, may be left more vulnerable. Adenylyl cyclase is an enzyme embedded in the cell membrane. Think of it as a translator. When a hormone or neurotransmitter binds a receptor, G proteins pass the message to adenylyl cyclase. In turn, adenylyl cyclase generates CAMP, the master signal for energy, growth, and neurotransmitter release. But if adenylyl cyclase is stalled, the entire conversation inside the cell breaks down. Estrogen is more than a reproductive hormone. It's also a neuroprotective signal. Estrogen enhances serotonin release, promotes synapse growth, and shields neurons from oxidative stress. But all of this depends on functional adenylyl cyclase signaling. When the link is broken, estrogen's protective potential may not fully reach the brain. Girls begin life with higher estrogen exposure, even before puberty. This may buffer them against weak adenylyl cyclase signaling. Boys, however, rely more heavily on dopamine and androgen pathways, which still funnel through G proteins and adenylyl cyclase to create CAMP. When this AC enzyme is impaired, boys may have fewer protective detours to create CAMP, leading to greater vulnerability in early brain development. CAMP is short for cyclic adenosine monophosphate. CAMP is often referred to as the second messenger inside our cells. It is the product of the adenylyl cyclase enzyme, or AC for short. It is CAMP that drives neurotransmitter release. And without proper neurotransmitter release, you can see how that might affect everything we do, such as motor skills, touch, coordination, memory, learning, speech, hearing, and more. It touches every sensory pathway in our body. I cannot stress enough the importance of AC and CAMP. For a deeper dive into AC, you can find other videos on our channel. When signaling stalls, dopamine pathways falter, reduced motivation, attention, reward response. Serotonin pathways weaken, mood instability, anxiety. Oxytocin release may be diminished, social disconnection. This isn't just about hormones, it's about communication breakdown across the brain. CAMP signaling also extends beyond the brain. In the gut and immune system, stalled adenylyl cyclase means poor regulation of inflammation, weak barrier protection, and unstable digestive rhythms. This creates the perfect storm: vulnerable brain circuits paired with fragile gut immune signaling. Emerging research shows altered G protein and adenylyl cyclase activity in autism, especially in male cohorts. Post-mortem brain studies and cellular models both suggest reduced CAMP signaling capacity. Meanwhile, estrogen has repeatedly shown protective effects in experimental models, pointing to a possible biological explanation for the gender puzzle. There are clues that stalled adenylyl cyclase may be part of the picture. These indicators are boys with more severe early regression than sisters in the same family, mood instability linked to stress or inflammation, poor response to dopamine-based therapies like stimulants, and stronger resilience in females, especially around hormonal shifts. While there's no single therapy, several approaches show promise in supporting stalled adenylyl cyclase signaling. Nutrients that enhance CAMP production, like magnesium, B vitamins, and omega-3s. Polyphenols and flavonoids that stabilize estrogen signaling. Lifestyle interventions that reduce oxidative stress, helping restore signal flow. Integrative clinicians are beginning to explore these pathways carefully, aiming not to override biology but to support it. The gender puzzle in autism highlights how fragile one signaling step can be. When estrogen's protective effects are lost at the level of adenylyl cyclase, boys may be left more exposed, explaining, at least in part, the dramatic diagnostic imbalance. By understanding these molecular roots, we can move beyond stereotypes and toward biology-based solutions. To recap, the autism gender gap may not be just social, it may be biochemical. Estrogen and G protein signaling often stall at adenylyl cyclase, weakening CAMP production. This leaves neurotransmitters on hold, gut and immune defenses fragile, and boys more vulnerable. For those still watching, thanks for sticking around with me for episode 9 in our series. I do plan on releasing an extended version of this video in the future for a much deeper dive. We will review the steps leading up to potentially impaired AC signaling and what interventions might be available. This will be a far more in-depth discussion, giving this topic the attention it deserves. Consider subscribing so you don't miss that upcoming episode. In the next chapter, we'll explore how stalled signaling cascades ripple outward, affecting metabolism and mitochondrial energy. The role of secretin, motilin, oxytocin, and VIP in ASD. This series is based on the book Unlocking the Rhythm of Digestion in Autism, available in paperback, hardback, and digital formats on Amazon. Always consult with a medical professional before making any changes to your health routine that may alter your current state of health. This is especially important for those on the autism spectrum. If today's insights helped you see the biology behind the behavior, share this episode with your community. And don't forget to subscribe to Decoding Autism Now, where science meets strategy, and where we make the invisible visible. Final thought of the day. Sometimes the smallest stall in signaling can shift an entire life trajectory. By restoring flow at the molecular level, we open doors to resilience, growth, and connection.